ओ भाजी कहाँ जी फिर लखे तुम उधर भी हेलो 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 hey Nihal hi hope I'm audible thanks hey Amaran hello Hey, so I'm just planning to take this session forward. I was planning to look at some profiles of the viewers and then try to understand what is their target campus, and then maybe if I can help them out with improving their profile. Okay, 87, 73, 7.2, BTech fresher, 2026 pass out, DRDO intern and ISRO intern. Hmm. I think in terms of this profile, this is actually a workable profile. I think 73% in 12th and 7.2 CGPA might be the weaker parts, but DRDO and ISRO internship are definitely strong additions. And it can give you very good talking points in the interviews. As a fresher, that is completely fine. I mean, just remember internship usually won't count as full time work experience for admission scoring in CATs or for any IIMs. So your biggest controllable factor now is CAT. So aim as high as possible with strong sectionals. So don't self-reject yourself from top B schools based on academics alone. Okay, Sai Sriram has posted another message. I'll just go through them. So in my 10th, I have 90%, 12th 80.8, and UG 87%, and I have 40 months work experience and general PWD. Any tips? See, your profile is quite strong. I think 988 with 40 months of work experience gives you a very solid base. General PWD can also help with admission process. It will depend on each institute's criteria. So, but don't just rely on this because we don't know what actual criteria for every campus would be. So, my tip would be to focus heavily on CAT plus sectionals. So prepare a strong story around your 40 months of work experience and career goals. And don't restrict yourself to ABC. And also, as since you have like more than 3 years of work experience, you can also compare like good 1 year MBA options with 2 year MBA program. So I think overall it's definitely a very good profile worth targeting B schools. Yeah, that's the same thing. I think you cannot just like rely on 98 plus percentage because nobody knows. Even a person with 99 percentage would not get a call, but a person with 94 or 92 percentage might get a call. So basically depends on the campus and your overall composite score. So my advice would be to maximize your CAT score as much as possible. Yes, and Kanika has posted another question. Just go through it. 10th, 89, 12th, 92 engineering students still in third year. And your work experience, obviously, you are still studying. And internship, preparing for CAT 2027. As engineer transitioning to MBA, what do they expect from a fresher's profile? Like project suggestion, or what can I do more in terms of projects? See, your academics are very strong so far. So, as an engineering fresher, these schools won't expect you to already have a management profile. So, instead of like collecting random certificates or projects, focus on one or two meaningful internships or projects where you can show actual impact. For example, solve a business or analytics problem using Excel, SQL, or Power BI. Or you can work with a startup or NGO, or you can participate in national level case competitions or like take a leadership responsibility in any of your college clubs. So for admissions, CAT plus academics will matter much more initially during the admission, like before the interview phase. So these experiences become useful only during interviews and also later during the MBA placements because you'll have real examples of problem solving, teamwork, and leadership. So since you're only in third year now, you have like enough time. So keep the CGPA strong and build a depth rather than filling your CV with 10 small certification. Hope I answered your question. I think faded margins has posted a question. I'll just take that one. 2026 graduate from BBA department, 10th 10 CGPA, nice. 12th 96, wow, nice. 85.1 female NCOBC. See, your academics are like very, very strong. 10, 9, 8 is like a good academic profile. And being a female non-engineer with NCOBC, it can also like help in the admission process at several top B schools. So since you are a 2026 graduate, I think being a fresher is completely fine. So if you are planning to take CAT now, I would focus mainly on maximizing CAT plus sectional and building a clear story around why MBA. Since you're a fresher, you'll have to defend why MBA now and why not MBA like 2 years later. So you'll have to defend that question if it comes. So with this profile, I think top IIMs are definitely worth targeting. Parth has a question. I'll take 10th 92.8, diploma 95, B civil 8.6. Work ex of 10 months as of now as structural engineer. Nice. What can I do more in terms of skill and my profile adequate for top IIMs? My profile is like definitely workable for top IIMs. I think 998 in civil engineering and some work experience in structural engineering. I think it gives you a solid base. Even I was also a civil engineer. So, but I wouldn't just chase random certifications. Build skills that complement your experience, like learning Excel, Power BI, or SQL, or basic finance business understanding, and structured problem solving. So, at work, try to quantify your impact through cost savings, project size, time, or clients handled, etc. But for top IMs, I think CAT will still be the biggest controllable factor, especially as an engineer. So, aim as high as possible and keep the sectional strong. And also like check how in each institute treats diploma scores in place of class level because admission criteria can differ for different IIMs. Yes, Sairam has posted another question, follow-up question, I think. So thanks for the response. Yeah, thank you. In those 40 months of workx that I have made no progress and I'm looking out for a strong story. The reason was purely medical. Any tips to tackle this? Don't worry too much about not getting promotion. I think in 40 months, interviewers will care more about what you worked on, like responsibilities you handled and the impact you created. But I think for the medical part, keep it honest and brief. Explain that health circumstances affected your ability to pursue faster growth, but you continued working and like you are now in a position to take on bigger career goals. Don't try to like come up with a dramatic story. Focus on learning your work impact and why MBA is the next step now for you. That will help you build your case. Is 10 months enough, or should I wait and have like about 2 years of work experience? See, that is completely up to you, Parth. I mean, if you want to do MBA at this point, you can do. Like, if you think that you want to gain some work experience before you want to take on the MBA, then you can take on. In my campus, almost like 30-40% were freshers, and remaining 60% were having work experience. So basically, like, it comes down to the preference. But if you ask me, I would say do your MBA as early as possible. I mean, I don't think there will be like um, much difference. So in terms of pay, I'm saying, so you can like try to get into a good MBA program as early as possible. Yes. Not a Bible file. I think my profile. Your profile is like saying, oh, brother. I'll take Sarah's question. 10th 91, diploma 95, UG 89. And then female general. 2026 graduate. Okay. So your academics are like very strong, Sarah. I think 91 and 10th and 95 in diploma. And 89 in BTech. It's like a very good foundational base. And being female can also like help with gender diversity at several B schools. As a general in category engineer and fresher, competition will still be high because you'll lose out on some points for not having work experience. So CAT becomes the highest controllable factor for you. So I target 99 percentile plus with strong sectionals and push as high as possible. Also check like how each IIMs. Okay. I think, so you can check the sectional criteria for each of the target IIMs and make sure that you are clearing the sectional cutoffs. I think even if you have overall percentile, I think in some cases what will happen is you will fail to clear sectional cutoffs. So then you would miss out on your target IIMs. So keep that in mind. And overall, your profile is like a definitely a good enough profile to target for top IIMs. I think now I have got a profile note by you. I think how do I pronounce your name? It is like very hard to pronounce. My Acha, I will read your profile. 998 EWS engineering male tier 1 city 11 matter 2+ years of work experience. ICICI and Zetas. I think your profile is very quite strong, bro. I think you have 9 and 8, and then tier 1 engineering plus 2 years I mentioned, but I'm not sure how much of those experiences from ICC and how much from Zetas. But Zetas, being a consulting firm, it gives you a very good work base to target consulting profiles, consulting roles after IIM. So AWS can also help in the admission process. So as an engineer, male competition will be intense, especially for ABC. So I'd aim for 99.5 percentile plus and push as high as possible with strong sectionals rather than thinking in terms of a minimum cutoff. And overall, it's a very good profile. I think for consulting and strategy types roles after MBA, it's a very good profile for you. So you can focus on clearing the CAT now. How much percentile required to convert IIM ABC for my profile? Needed margins. Hmm. Yes, I think being a female NCOBC is your cutoff would be little bit lower than compared to other graduates or candidates, but still we cannot like come up with a minimum cutoff because every year that will change. So a person who's like having 99 percentile might not get a call, but a person who's having 97 percentile might get a call. So it is very difficult to like come up with the percentile required to convert IM ABC. So my advice would be to focus on CAT, on getting a very high score as much as possible, and then basis the calls you can then prepare for converting the interviews. I think eight Dhanashya, Dhanash and Suresh. 888 BCom Gen Mail trying for finance career. Which colleges to target? Okay. See, BCom plus ACCA is a good finance oriented profile. So, finance is your goal. I'll particularly target IM Calcutta or IM Ahmedabad or Bangalore. And apart from this, you can target FMS or SP Jain and IM Lucknow or XLRI or IFT and JBIMS. So, these campus, I think, have very good financial very good placement for finance profiles. But for front end finance role, I think your HCA background can strengthen your story, but shortlists are very competitive and profile driven and also depends on the campus. I think most of the front end finance role comes only to like top IIMs or top MBA campuses. So as a general category male, I think you should aim for 99 percentile plus in CAT, so, and push as high as possible. For now, CAT should be the only priority rather than like adding more certifications from your side. I think Samir has posted another question. 10th, 93 plus 2, 89th, BTech EC 6.7 CGPA pass out 2021, 3 years, UPSC 3 failed prelims and meanwhile distance master political science right now working as school social teacher, 2-year experience, CAT percentile record. Your profile is workable, but the 6.7 CGPA and the 3-year ka UPSC gap are the weaker parts. So your teaching experience helps because you are now back in the workforce and you have like a clear story to explain the transition from UPSC preparation to being a teacher. But there is no fixed CAT percentile because like category and each IM's criteria matters. So if you are a general category, I would target 99 percentile plus with strong sectionals and push like as high as possible for black year FMS. Also keep like a wider set of strong B schools in your target list open. And most importantly, be ready to explain um, about your UPSC gap and your political science masters and your teaching and why MBA now in a convincing way to the interviewer. Can you please understand what Can you please help me understand what break or gap in experience is in CAT form? It is a gap between jobs or medical LOA or LOP taken in as well? Hmm, I was thinking about this. I think the break or gap experience in CAT form. So ideally, gap should be defined as a break in continuity of your full-time post-graduation employment, such as gap between leaving one job and then joining the next. But a normal to sanction leave while you're still employed usually wouldn't treat it like a job gap. But for a long medical or LO or LOP, I'd go by what your employer officially records. If your employment or experience certificates treat that period as a continuous service, so it would not be counted as a break. But if the period is explicitly excluded from your service or like work experience certificate, then it is a break. So just make sure that when you are checking your experience certificate, it will give you a clear picture whether that gap is considered in your experience certificate or it is not considered. If it is considered, then it is a gap. Should I be going for professional certifications like CFA, FRM? See, if your ultimate goal is to like um, end up in some finance role, like only if they match the career you want, it makes sense for you to pursue CFA and FRM. CFA makes sense for investment research like asset management, equity research, and some finance role. FRM is more relevant for risk, treasury, and banking risk roles. So don't do either just to improve your IM profile. They won't compensate for CAT, academics, or like work experience. If MBA is the immediate goal, then I'd prioritize CAT plus meaningful work experience and add a certification only when you are clear about the finance path you want. I'll take the next one. I'm an AWS candidate. Can I target lucky? Yeah, sure. I think definitely. Why not? I think always keep your goals like higher. Can definitely target. 966 SC male fresher started CAD. Will it be tough for me to get admission and survive there? I think it is very important for you to understand one thing. See, IIMs will always be tough. I mean, if it is easier, then everybody would be studying there, right? So it is will be definitely tougher. But being, I think SC can help you in the admission process. And as a fresher, you still have a valid shot if you score well in CAT and clear the section. Don't worry too much about surviving once you get in. People come from very different academic backgrounds, and you don't need to be topper as to do well in the IIMs. So I'd suggest focus on CAT first, then work on communication, Excel or PPT skills, and basic business awareness before joining. So yes, it may be tougher to get in, but it is absolutely not a reason to give up right now. 81, 89 engineering, 9 month AWS work experience. How much score needed? I can solve the game, but I stuck in mock time-based test. Your profile is workable for top B school. It can like EWS plus some work experience can give you a decent base. But as engineer mill, the competition will still be high. So target will be 99 plus percentile rather than looking for a minimum safe score. On QA part, if you can solve questions without pressure, but struggle in mocks, your issue is probably question selection plus speed, not the concepts. So don't try to solve every questions. Practice timed sectionals, like learn to skip questions faster and analyze every mock to see where you are spending unnecessary time. Like CAT is an examination which rewards choosing the right questions as much as solving them. You don't have to satisfy your ego there. I think next question is on how to improve VRC. Let's start. I'm facing problems in VRC. Hmm. See, for VRC, don't focus only on reading more. I think reading more is very, very important, but practice plus analysis is even more important. So do 2 to 3 RCs regularly every day. Take timed VRC sectionals and spend time understanding why each option was wrong and why the correct one was better. Also track whether your problem is either comprehension or accuracy, question selection or time pressure. So just first understand your problem, where your problem lies, and try to focus on that specific problem. I think from the reading part, you can read editorials or long form articles daily. Don't read like small news articles. Focus more on editorials or like some long form articles like Aeon or Guardian. So don't obsess over vocabulary. Vocabulary is not that much important. So with consistent time to practice, I think VRC usually will improve gradually. So don't worry. For Top B school with engineering background amongst other candidates, what could be some major differentiating factor that people with high CAT score might get admitted while some with low might not? See, for an engineering candidate, CAT is only one part of the story. The major differentiators are usually past academics, 10th, 12th, college, graduation marks, and the quality of work experience in addition to quantity. And then internships or projects, and leaderships are POs, which you have taken during your campus times. Just a minute. Uh, Two people with similar CAT scores can have a very different outcomes because like every B school uses a different composite score. And once you get the interview call, a strong PA can change the final decision significantly. So rather than trying to manufacture certificates, like build one to two genuinely strong experiences with measurable impact and be able to explain your career story clearly. 899 OBC, OBA history, fresher, male CFA level 2 cleared. How much I want for Blackie? Mm, mm, mm. See, your profile is like quite strong for Blackie, and the non-engineering background can help with academic diversity. CFA level 2 is like a very good addition for your finance story, though it won't directly compensate for CAT. Just a minute, I'm getting a call. Sorry, guys, I had to go. Hello, hello, Mohammed. We didn't get a front end pinroll during MBA placements. Can I still pivot in them after 1 to 2 years post MBA? Currently, I have CFA L1, but academics are poor. See, yes, it is possible, but front end finance roles become like very, very harder to enter later if your first post MBA role is completely unrelated. So that is one thing to keep in mind. But if you miss IB or PE during MBA placement, try to get as close as possible through equity research roles or valuation roles, corporate finance, or transaction advisory, credit and M&A support, etc. So try to get into roles similar to this. Then after 1 to 2 years, lateral switches through referrals and networking become much more realistic. You're like six in graduation can hurt some campus shortlist, while CFA level 1 will help you show finance interest. If finance is the goal, I'll continue building relevant experience rather than relying only on more certifications. Priyamada Kumari has asked a question. I'll take that one. 10th, 82, 12th, 95.6. After that, three drops as well, preparing. I mean, by three drops, you mean 3 years of drop as you are preparing for NEET exam. Now, in final year of BBA, many chances of IIM have no internship certificate, how to build profile. You still have a chance at IIMs. The 3 year NEET gap won't automatically disqualify you, but you should be ready to explain that phase honestly and clearly during interviews. And since you are in final year BBA, don't panic about having no certificates. Focus on CAT plus graduation marks now and try to add like 1 to 2 meaningful experience such as internship or live project, a case competition or leadership role. Quality here more matters more than collecting just random certificates. And your 82 and 96 percentile, 95% academics are like decent. So don't self-reject yourself at this point of time. So build your profile from here and aim as high as possible in CAT. All the best. Aspirant to Gujarat. His name. Your profile is 92, 85, 9.3. Can I get a good college after 1 year drop in government exam preparation? I'm a fresher. Yes, your academics are like quite strong and it gives you a very solid base. A 1 year gap of government exam preparation is not a major issue by itself. You just need to explain clearly what you did during that year and why you are choosing an MBA. Even when I was preparing for government examinations, I had a 1 year gap. So I explained it in my interview well. So there is nothing wrong with having a gap here. Being a fresher is also completely fine. Focus on CAT plus sectionals, and if possible, add an internship or project or like some meaningful experience before joining. With a strong CAT score, you can definitely target like very good B schools. Also, compared to the top B school gives other top B school, Bangalore gives more priority to work experience. And in your college, they have pressure, especially in engineering background, since it is highly competitive. Yeah, I think Bangalore gives a little bit more high mark, a high weightage towards work experience, definitely. So that's why I told you, right? I mean, around 60 to 70% of IMB has having some work experience, but still we had like 20 to 30% of freshers. So it is still possible for freshers to crack CAT and get into IIM Bangalore. So I see, as mentioned, my relieving letter doesn't have anything explicitly mentioned about LOP, but payslip does. Can I proceed with zero as a break and extend during the verification, or should I calculate mention? I think as long as your payslips are like from last 2 3 months, if you have like last 2 3 months of payslip, doesn't matter. I mean, you can just apply without having any gaps. But if your payslips, I think if the break which you have taken is from the last 2 3 months, before leaving the company, then definitely you'll have to like um, come up with the story or come up with the reason what happened. So there you'll have to mention about your gap. Yes, by 3 months is enough for cat. I think you mean cat preparation, right? I think 3 months is more than enough, I'd say, but you'll have to like you cannot have the what do you say? You cannot like waste your time because you have since you have only 3 months, and if you are like starting a preparation from CAT, I would suggest you to focus your time entirely on CAT preparation. But yeah, I think 3 months is more than enough to crack CAT. 997 EWS non-engineering profile percentile for ABC. See, it is like definitely competitive for ABC. Like your profile is competitive, but the 7 in the graduation is a weaker part. But you have academic diversity and also EWS, so it can help you great. But there is no safe percentile for ABC because they all use different formulas. So I would say that our safe percentile would be to targeting 99 plus percentile and ideally 99.3 to 99.5 plus with strong sectionals to maximize your chances. Are there any specific courses or certification should one do if they want to break into marketing? Mm. See, yes, you can do, but I wouldn't collect certification just for CV. I mean, for marketing, the usual ones are like Google Ads or Analytics and like HubSpot courses or basic Excel or Power BI courses and the courses on consumer behavior and brand management. But more important than certificates, try to get real marketing experience through internship or live projects or by running campaigns for any NGOs or by growing a page or like working with a startup, or you can do your own market research for your firm. So I would always say this: real practical work experience matters more than certificates. So for placements, being able to say I ran this campaign, spent rupees XX amount, and generated YY leads, and learned this things is far stronger than listing 5 certificates. 899 OBC male BA history. Want to get into finance? Cleared CFA level 2. How much should I score for Black Key? See, your profile is like very strong for Black Key. Non-engineering background can help with academic diversity. CFA level 2 is a great addition for your finance story and also later finance placements. But it won't add much directly into the initial IM shortlist. And there is like no safe percentile. I'd say this again and again. Target 98.5%. I think in your case, you can score target 98.5 plus percentile and try to push above 99 percentile as possible to maximize your chances for Black Key. Are there really jobs for a fresher? I mean, I don't understand the context. If you mean, are there any really jobs for freshers after IIM? So yeah, definitely freshers. Also try to get into a very good campus. So that would help you increase your chances of getting a really good job. 986 BARC. Think is a good profile. Think 6 on graduation might be a weaker point, but I don't know anything about um, your details apart from these things, whether you are like a general category or like any other categories. And also, do you have any work experience or anything? It's not mentioned there. So if you can like clearly mention your profile, I can give you a better recommendation. Final last breakup LOP was due to medical reason and last working day was pushed forward. Should I count those days and put the count in break? I am confused. See, in your case, I would not count the medical LOP as break in experience. If you remained an employee during that period and your official last working day was pushed forward accordingly, so it means you don't have a gap. And the CAT 2026 form, if I remember, I think it asks for break in experience in, but does not specifically say that sanctioned unpaid or medical leave must be treated as a break. So I follow this rule. Um, Employment is your employment continued plus experience or a leaving letter shows your final last working day. So you enter zero break and count experience until last working day. But if your employer officially excludes those LOP days from your service or experience, exclude those days and mention them as a break. Since yours was medical LOP and the company kept your employment active by extending the last working day, so I personally entered zero for the break within that job. So for complete peace of mind, you can also email the CAT help desk with the exact dates before submitting and keep their response as documentation. PRK is very tough but rare degree. I am general 2 years architecture work ex and road track higher member. I would want a tier 1 MBA school for a good pay. See, BRK is actually a differentiated background for MBA admission, and 2 years of architecture work experience plus some leadership experience can give you a good profile story. But as a general category candidate, CAT will be the biggest factor. So I target 99 percentile plus and push as high as possible for tier 1 school. And also, like, don't choose MBA only for good pay. Target campuses like IM, ABC, or KLI, or FMS, XLR, SPJMR, or MDI, and IAFT, etc. And look at the actual roles they offer. Your architecture background can be positioned well for like consulting or real estate, operations, strategy, and general management roles. Thank you, Sai. Become grad, tier 3 UG, 888 profile, fresher. What roles and domain can I expect if I get into Blackie? See, this profile is perfectly workable profile once you are at Blackie. You can potentially target anything consulting, finance, marketing, general management, operations, analytics, and some product roles depending on the company. Your tier 3 UG college will not automatically block you, but some recruiters are like very profile driven during shortlisting. For example, consulting, most of the consulting companies like in McKinsey, BCG, and Bain, we look for people from IITs with a very good profile. So those kind of roles may be limited for you. But become finance can be a natural fit if you build accounting or valuation skills. While marketing and general management also like very open to freshers. So once you get inside an MBA campus, focus on MBA academics, case competitions, and get into a good club or get a leadership position in a club and summer placements. So the opportunities will be much broader than what your UG college alone suggests. I'm very confused, Dada. I don't know what to do now. Architecture is low pay and MBA, I have no interest as such. I can understand your frustration. I think most of us are in this dilemma only. So I wouldn't rush into an MBA just because architecture pays less. If you already feel you have no interest in management, and spending 2 years and 30 plus lakhs on an MBA may leave you equally confused afterward. So first try to explore if there are any better paying path around your existing background, like real estate, project management, or construction consulting. Speak to people in these careers and see what genuinely interests you. MBA will still be there later. I mean, first figure out what kind of work you actually want to do, then decide whether an MBA is required to reach it or not. Just doing an MBA because you are getting a low pay doesn't make sense. Been following your videos since few days and really feels connected with your journey. And this live session today was so informative. Thanks for responding. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Thanks for your support. One-on-one call with you. How? Yes. See, actually, you can book one-on-one calls with me. I have like a link on top. Maybe if you're interested, you can go and book a time slot with me. It will be like on a chargeable basis because um, amount is not that high. I have just kept it on a chargeable basis because I want to like speak only to candidates who are like very serious about their preparation. So I've kept like a nominal charge. That link is not working. I'll try to update that link. I mean, the link might be outdated or something. So I'll try to update that link. Yeah, sure. I'll check once. Yes. So I've updated the link. You can check now, Rats. I think it should work now. Will there be any very special verification of PWD candidates during the interview? Will there be any special verification for PWD candidates during interview day or joining day in IIM, or is it a valid document that they look for? If you can respond on this, the next follow-up question is, I mean, just show them your disability if they ask. Acha. See, unless it is mainly document verification, if shortlisted PWD candidates are generally required to show their original disability certificate and submit a copy during the interview process. And also the certificate will be checked again during your joining time. So IIM Bangalore also asks for relevant PWD certificate for some applicable programs. But I haven't seen a universal rule saying that every PWD candidate should undergo a separate medical examination on the interview joining. I don't think that will happen in any case. But if an institute can ask for additional verification if required, so keep the original certificate with you and supporting documents ready. Yeah, my profile 896 and engineering from NIT. Nice profile, bro. See, NIT engineering is still a workable profile. Six in your graduation might be a weaker point. So, since you are an engineer, competition will be very, very high for top IIMs. And I'm not sure about your category. If you're from general category, then you should target above 99 percentile and score as high as possible. And I'm not sure about your work experience either. So if you have any good work experience, then well and good. And also don't assume that the six automatically rules you out. Think CAT score, work experience, interview performance, and each IM selection formula will all matter. So don't reject yourself at this point of time. 979 Abir Chaudhary, 979 BBA Tier 3 UG Gold medalist have technical proficiency through certificates. Targeting product management role, especially APM role. Should I go for APM or PM role in e-commerce SaaS companies? See, be having a gold medal in UG is very good base. If product genuinely interests you, then you should definitely explore APM roles in e-commerce or SaaS companies. But don't rely only on technical certificate. I don't think that matters much as practical work experience. So try to build actual product work experience through doing internships or live projects. You can write PRDs, do user research, learn SQL and analytics, and learn about product metrics and solve real product problems. Even a small startup APM or product internship can add more value than multiple certificates. One thing to keep in mind if you are like going for an MBA, PM shortlist at top B school can be quite profile driven, and some companies prefer engineers or candidates with prior product experience. So build proof of product thinking now and keep adjacent roles like growth, strategy, and business analytics roles open as well. The next question is Abir Chaudhary, HR same thing, right? Okay, then little work experience. I think 9 6 engineering from NIT. I think I've already explained your chances, brother. How is BR counted as non-engineers? Yes, actually, BR is considered as a non-engineer, but I think there are some criteria for every item. I just check on it. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, so I think it depends on the campus. So I think IIM Ahmedabad actually places BR candidates engineering or academic category, that is AC4 category. So I don't think it would be considered as a non-engineer or engineer or the non-engineer over there. So don't assume BRK will automatically give you academic diversity point. It depends on each IIM's admission policy for that year. So make sure you check the admission policy for every target campus you're looking for. How OBC, how CFA affect my profile? I think having CFA will actually help you if you're looking for finance-related roles during your MBA campus. But if you're like not interested in any finance role, then doing CFA will doesn't matter actually. So just don't do CFA for the sake of getting into IIMs. Make sure you're doing CFA only if you're interested in finance roles. Aniket has asked, I'm an engineer with 997 academics and 1 year of work in manufacturing operation, followed by 2 years CAD prep. I know it's bad. I don't think it's bad, bro. But after CAD and hour, I have time till May. I know with my profile, I may get shortlisted for operation SNM and slight chances in German. Tell me if I'm correct. The thinking is broadly right, but I wouldn't restrict yourself to these roles yet. Manufacturing operation experience actually fits operation or supply chain, but also you can and also you can target S&M some general management roles depending on the recruiters. Like shortlists are like very company specific. The 2 year gap is the bigger weakness, and you can't erase it. But you can strengthen what comes next. From November to May, you try to get a job or internship, meaningful internship or live project, preferably with the measurable impact. If possible, choose something aligned with the operation, supply chains, sales, or Genman roles. Your profile is still workable. Focus on creating a strong story around what you did before the gap, why the gap happened, and how you restarted afterwards. So that will help you during your interviews. Consulting, I have no specs in CV, like no ECs, PRs, and all. So I'm leaving consulting for now. Broadmat requires IOKX. That is not my case. And that's not a reasonable way to narrow things down for now. For consulting, spikes or POs definitely will help, but not having them doesn't automatically rule you out. So strong academics, relevant work impact, case performance, and interview skills can matter a lot. And for product, higher work or prior tech product exposure helps for many roles, but not every PM role requires heavy experience. Some APM or product roles do not hire candidates, do hire candidates with very lower work experience too. Still, given your manufacturing background, I'd prioritize operations, supply chain, general management first, then reassess once you actually enter a B school and see the shortlist available for you. If class 10 from state board has GPA system and the max score will be 10, right? Considering no marks and conversion was mentioned. I think here there is a conversion formula, if I remember it correctly. Yeah, so CAT's guidance has actually been if there is no conversion scheme exists, your percentage is equal to your GPA divided by maximum GPA into 100. For example, 9.2 by 10 would mean 92 percentage. But if your board has an official conversion rule, they use that instead. What about CFA level on May 27? I mean, if I think that makes sense. If you can get your CFA before you get into an MBA campus, well and good. That might help you in your summer placements. But if you're actually studying in MBA campus right now, then it doesn't make sense at this point of time. Maybe in final placement it might help you, but not for summer placements. Yeah, I think SSV pharmacy. Yeah, I think IMA does that part. Should I do it to get more option like finance, or should I stick to what I am really good at? And see, that depends on you. If you are like interested in finance, I definitely suggest you to go for it. There were like few of my batchmates who did not have any finance background at all, but they were interested in getting into finance roles. So they did a CFA, and some of them are able to eventually convert those interviews as well. So getting doing CFA will definitely help your case, but make sure that you are doing finance if you are really interested, because finance is very very hard. So long working hours, extreme pressure. So make sure you know what you are getting into. Okay. I'm currently studying UG in IIM Lucknow. Can you help me build my profile? By yeah, sure. I can help you build your profile. So I'm not sure which year you are studying in right now. Um, so assuming that you are in first year of your graduation, focus on building depth rather than collecting random certificates. Keep your academics strong. Academics is the first important thing you should focus on, and do meaningful internships. Take up positions of responsibility and leadership roles in college clubs. Participate in case competition. I am Lucknow will conduct a lot of case competitions every year. Build, you can take help from your seniors and build 1 to 2 solid projects around the domain you're interested in. I think next question is, my course is AI with business analytics. Acha, same follow up. I think fine. I think you can then focus. Okay, I think this is a new question. I'm not sure what the question is. I mean, if you're looking for an MBA, then I think it's a strong combination. Since you are like studying A with business analytics, I'd focus more on Python, SQL, and practical AML projects. And try to get internship in around those regions or those areas, and participate in more case-driven, data-driven case competitions. There is a lag. I don't think. I hope I am audible now. How about EPGP from MB for 5 years of work experience? Yes, definitely you can target EPGP, but actually 1 year and 2 year MBA has a difference. If you are like looking to get into a completely different sector and want to try new things during your internship, then you can go for 2 year work experience, 2 year MBA programs. But if you clearly know where you want to end up in, for example, if you want to like accelerate your career in your own sector, then going for EPGP will help you more than going for an 1 year work experience or 2 year MBA program. Yes, I think I'll just take this last question and then I'll have to leave. So this question is, I have 8.48 CGPA, 77.8 convert the same. For admission, it's 77.8, that's fine. But in summers and final, do they ask for CGPA percentage? I mean, I can say I have a 998 or 997. I think for semester finals, it depends on the company and the B school CV format. Some format, CV format ask for CGPA, some ask for percentage, and some both. And I think some of the campuses may you don't have to mention your CGPA if you're not comfortable doing it. In IIM Bangalore, we didn't have to mention the CGPA if you're not interested in revealing that information. So yeah, once you join, follow whatever format your placement office officially uses this. Yes, 2 year gap gem. 2 year gap is not an actual problem. I think you have, since you have 998 profile, that's a very good profile. Once I think focus on CAT for now, and during interviews, make sure you can defend your 2 year gap. I think make sure to tell them what you did during the 2 year gap and was it useful or not. And how can we connect with you? I think if you want to connect with me one on one, I think you can directly book a session with me on TopMate. And if you have any doubts or anything, if you just want me to connect with me through a message or something, you can connect with me on Instagram. You can drop a message there, and whenever I am available, I'll just reply to you. Yes. Just, okay, doing IMBA from IIMs. Only from IIM is what I'd not say. See, there are like very good campuses apart from IIMs like SP Jain, XLRI, IFP, MDI Gurgaon, ISB. So I don't think IIM is the only good campuses for doing MBA in India. Yes, thank you so much for your session. I'll just take this last question. One internship at March along with 2 year gap. I think internship experience will not be counted as a work experience, but you can use it to defend yourself during the interview process. I mean, maybe you can tell that you what you did during internship and was how much impact did you bring. So, but it will not be counted as a work experience. Yes. Yes, I think thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for your time. And if you have any doubts or anything, you can just feel free to ping me at any point of time. Thank you so much. Bye.